Go full.
I think the new Blueprint irons, the S and T, specifically the S, because that's what I've been mostly testing. They just look incredible. When you grip them and look down to the ball, they're such a good looking iron. And then when you hit a good shot dead out of the center, just the turf interaction is really pure and the ball flight is nice. So it just kind of matches. It gives you all the good feels when you hit a good shot, and it's not a surprise how it's already doing well out on tour.
Blueprint S, it gives us kind of that player's iron with just a bunch of, great forgiveness and technology wrapped behind it. So it's got that clean top rail, got a small sole, minimum amount of offset, even coming from its predecessors, which would be I-59, I-Blade, S-55, that lineage. It flies really straight and really consistent. Guys have tested it, and it's kind of passed their test right away, and it's gone into a lot of bags very quickly.
The Blueprint S, for me, still has a sleek kind of design of a blade that looks good to the eye. You're staring at this club for thousands of hours a year, like you want it to look good to your eyes. So it looked great to me right away, and I don't switch too easily. But this was the one thing maybe in my whole pro career or college career, pro career, that I switched instantly. I barely practiced with it before Napa. I just felt so comfortable with it. It had a little less offset than the I-Blade. Even though I am right eye dominant, it was kind of nice to see the iron a little bit more flush. I've always been that way with wedges, so now that my irons are more like that through the bag, it's kind of an added bonus.
So I've been using the I-230s, and then as soon as I saw the Blueprint S, I was actually amazed that the heel to toe, the difference wasn't very obvious. They looked very similar in size to the 230. It felt like I was still going to have that forgiveness. So it felt like a pretty easy switch, and it wasn't something that I was concerned about at all.
Definitely a little bit more forgiving. With my longer irons, I was struggling. As I'm getting older, swing speed's getting lower, so getting it out of a first cut and then get a little bit of air out of it, I definitely see a difference in the 3, 4, 5 iron, even 6 iron, compared to the normal Blueprint. I can see in the shape that it alters line a little better. It's better than the crosswind, so it might be a little bit more forgiving than the other one.
The Blueprint T is going to be just like that's your dead replacement to the original Blueprint. So it's that classic forged blade, and if it could be cleaner than the original Blueprint, this one is. It's super clean on the back half, very small, minimal offset, very small blade. It's your meat and potato iron. If anything, it is a little softer feeling. Guys have noticed, like Austin Eckert, who put it in play, and Louis, they noticed a little bit softer feeling is what we've heard, the feedback on those.
I'd say the Blueprint T versions are probably for more of the elite player, just because the size of the blade is small. If you're just a good player, if you're looking for a little bit of extra feel between the heel and the toe shots and maybe want to curve it a little bit more, I think that's a good alternative for just any player that thinks they're a pretty good iron player and wants to have a little bit more control.
Go full.